I probably would open with, probably the most frequently asked question I get from people as I travel is, why would anyone want to be governor of Illinois? But I have to tell you, having lived in this state, started a business, and been in the legislature, I can't think of a state, a place, a time that I'd rather be governor, because I really do look at our state with a great deal of optimism for the future. There's no question that we have record deficits and debt. A pension system that, if not corrected, will implode, at least $75 billion in unfunded liabilities. Bond indebtedness that exceeds $25 billion. Unpaid bills that seem to exceed at least $5 billion. But I continue to see, as I said earlier, the rich opportunities in Illinois. When you focus on a balance sheet, you can't just look at the liabilities, you've got to look at the opportunities. And I don't think there's a state richer in opportunity than Illinois. Beginning with our agricultural-based economy, a staple certainly in this state, in this nation, in the world. Continuing on to the infrastructure right-of-way. A lot of people don't realize it, but we have more rail, river, road, and air infrastructure per capita than almost any other state in the nation. You think about our energy resources, not just nuclear and oil and wind, but as natural gas becomes a more predominant source of energy and technology enhances coal, our reserves are vast. In fact, we have more coal reserves in Illinois than Saudi Arabia has oil. You look at our corporate partners, you look at our healthcare institutions, our colleges, our universities, 13 million people. You can't help but wonder, given that we're located in the center of this nation's economy, why we can't do better. But we've done poorly. 800,000 lost jobs and opportunity and actual in the last decade. 200,000 lost jobs in just the last 20 months. 26,000 lost jobs in the last 2 months. An abysmal record, coupled with deficits and debt. And it's not a national issue anymore. 35 states in the nation in that same 2-month window created more jobs than they lost. We're one of 8 states in the nation still deemed to be in a recession, and the only large state in this nation. Why? Well, as I've traveled around the state, looked at the examples in other states that have created jobs for their families, I think the solutions are simple. We have to stabilize the tax environment without raising taxes. We have to make Illinois more competitive, not just in taxes, but in the areas of work comp reform, medical malpractice reform, bureaucracy and regulation. We have to have a longer-term plan in terms of the infrastructure we're going to provide for long-term business investments in the people of Illinois. And I'm not just talking about rail, river, road, and air. I'm talking about broadband, utility grids, health care, energy resources, and on. Plans that don't just go 1 or 2 or 3 years, but we have to think 25 years. Businesses think that long when they make a capital investment. And if we do these things, along with balancing our budget, the single biggest reason businesses choose not to invest in Illinois or reinvest in Illinois is the fiscal crisis our state faces. We need to bring fiscal stability back, which means we need discipline like Mitch Daniels provided in Indiana, Bob McDonald in Virginia. Someone who's willing to step in and say enough is enough. We've got this amount to invest, redetermine our priorities, and spend. And if we spend within our means, we pay down our deficits and our debt, we make Illinois a competitive place to do business, and stabilize the tax structure, the jobs will come back. And with the jobs, we not only have a quality of life, livelihood for a family, those families are less reliant on government services, and they provide revenues. The math works out that the average job provides about $4,200 in revenue to the state. That's over 800,000 jobs that we've lost, equal to the amount that Texas has gained in the same period of time. Works out to be $3 billion in annualized revenue, not to mention less reliance on government resources to take care of the unemployed. So I think that's the win-win situation. And there are various states that we can learn from to do that. So there's clear and distinct differences between my opponent. He doesn't think we can balance the budget. He wants to raise tax rates. He wants to kick the can down the road. He's never once mentioned addressing the cost of workers' compensation or medical malpractice. He has continued the legacy of secret programs. The one thing I've learned about Governor Quinn is the more he says something, the less likely it is to be true. He talks about cutting state spending and he hands out pay raises. He talks about eliminating the secret release program, only to find out over the weekend that he's released over 2,000 more people on our streets. We need a governor who will bring integrity and speak the truth, and that's what I'll provide as governor of this state. We'll provide a platform that will make Illinois the best economic engine of any state, and then we will recruit capital investment to our state, from existing businesses to businesses that aren't here yet in this country to businesses and other countries that want to invest capital in Illinois.